your headphones, it's time to mob it up. We're the Colts crew, ain't no one above us. Breaking down the news, rumors and games, keeping it real, no one can tell. Every Tuesday, bringing that heat with special guests. Reporters will meet players in the house, bringing the A-game. Talking about the Colts, or all about the fame. We're the hottest sports podcast, no doubt. Covering the Colts, hear the fans shout. From Lucas Oil to the Super Bowl, with a HorseShoe Mob. Keeping you in the fold, let's go, let's go. HorseShoe Mob, we're storming through the town. Harris, Austin, Josh, and Chris, we never slow down. Everything Colts, we got the blue pride, making Indianapolis proud. We're taking this ride on the grapevine. We're a force to be reckoned with every touchdown. We keep the city beckoning, we bleed blue. Our love for the Colts run deep, we'll keep cheering. We're the hottest sports podcast, no doubt. Covering the Colts, hear the fans shout. From Lucas Oil to the Super Bowl, with a HorseShoe Mob. Yeah. Sports podcast, no doubt, covering the Colts.
And welcome back, Colts Nation. Welcome back, Colts fans everywhere watching, wherever you're watching from, whether you're watching Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, watching from one of our living rooms, in which case that would be extremely weird. Welcome back to the HorseShoe Mob podcast. We're bringing you all Colts everything and making sure that we sprinkle in some slander every now and then, because you know what? Who we be if not just a dedicated fan base? But you know what? Let's just go ahead, because tonight we're gonna be going over some things, and we got as stated before, we got a special announcement tonight. Actually, we're gonna have some fun with that one. But in the meantime, well, let's just go ahead and get to the guys. So first, we have with us Mr. Austin Cook.
What's up? I'm Austin.
All right. Then we have Josh Senior. Everybody.
Josh, push the mute button.
What's good, y'all?
Oh, there you go. Okay, there he is. All right. And then we have with us the Chris Ballard enthusiast himself, Harish Nukala.
You know, I wanted to come on here and have a really good time, but I just want to give you a shout out, Chris. Shout out to your production skills on making sure we got on the show on time after the intro video. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Not a moment of dead silence in this show, and I just want to say, great job.
You're damn welcome. You know that. You know that, Harish. I'm glad that I could be here, making sure that we're entertaining the masses. Because who are we if we're not entertaining? In which, I mean, definitely.
We would be Titans fans.
Touche. I can't even argue with that. But yes, so if you haven't already, please make sure that you are subscribing to the YouTube. Make sure that you are following us on Twitter. Make sure that you are following the podcast page on Facebook. But yeah, man, let's just go ahead. Well, before we get into it, let's just go ahead and make sure that you are going to www.fanbattlesports.com. Make sure that you are going there for all your Colts related content. I mean, it's the AFC South stuff. We get it, whatever, but you're not there for them. You're there for us. So you go there, you get all your Colts related contests, news articles. You're also able to see past episodes. You'll be able to read our bios. I think our bios need to be updated, because I feel like we need to go ahead and just show the people, just be like, hey, we're different from the way we were a year ago. And what I mean by that is we're much more petty than we were, okay? But and the thing is, I can speak for all of us, because I know that specifically for Austin, because I know how Austin can get sometimes, okay? He sits there and he gets like real quiet, but I mean, honestly, I love him, but he can't be trusted in a lot of cases, and I'm okay with that, because the thing is, if you have a wild card, you wouldn't have the wild card on your team, and I'm glad that he's on our team, because I couldn't imagine him being a fan of anybody else. So I appreciate you, Austin. Okay, I just want to let you know.
Yep, I appreciate you, Chris.
That's what the hell I like to hear. So yeah, make sure you go to www.fanbattlesports.com. And so without further ado, oh yeah, by the way, we also did say that we were gonna go and make sure that you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. Whatever it says that you could do there other than report or block, then make sure that you're doing all that because that's also appreciated. But yeah, so we also wanted to make sure we have a special message for our Colts faithful. So last week we know that AR, he'd been doing some work, getting some passing in, and Friday he didn't really throw that much. Kind of was off to the side. And everybody collectively started worrying because of the reports that were coming out saying, "Oh no, can't believe it, he's hurt again." But they said, and he said out of his own mouth, this was just basically just precautionary because of the fact that he's still in the healing process. He said it's a 6 to 8 month recovery time, and we're still within that 6 to 8 month window. So just making sure that people know not to panic, because all it is just making sure that he just had some soreness. So there's not anything in terms of like damage or anything, but it's just sore. And so you want to make sure that he's going to be fully healthy for training camp, which I believe is the very last full weekend in July. So does anybody else have anything to say about that? Because I wanted to make sure that the Colts fan base didn't collectively continue to lose their shit.
Yeah, just relax.
Very much so.
I know Colts fans have PTSD, but just relax.
Yes, seeing those disturbing comments where a couple of fans, I'm sure there's more, saying that they're out on AR because of this arrested day. This is unacceptable as a fan because, like I said, the doctor said it's going to be some soreness in his rehab. So
yeah, absolutely. So just other than that, Austin, you?
No, I mean, I'm with y'all. I agree.
Cool. All right, good. Glad we got that out the way. So yeah, fan base, let's just go ahead, just relax a little bit. All right, we got this. All right, it's gonna be okay. AR is okay. He'll be back for training camp. He'll be back throwing full time before you know it. So cool. All right, and then in the meantime, let's just get right into it. So prior to last week, where we had a bunch of news coming out of OTAs and what was going on, we were doing our schedule release. So just to go ahead and keep everybody updated as to what we had, or I'm going to say what everybody had, Josh had us at, and this is after 8 weeks. So of weeks 1 through 8, after weeks 1 through 8, he had us at 4-4. Harish had us at 5-3. Austin had us at 6-2, and I had us at 6-2.
Yeah, 2 homers.
Yeah. So first off, sir, I'll tell you this much, okay? Listen, I was probably the only homer there because the thing is, I had us going 4-0 to start the season, and you know what? That's fair because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, who am I if not an optimist?
I respect that.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what? If anybody got anything to say, I don't want to give us. So I mean, so as far as the actual schedule goes, now we have this stretch. So week 9, Minnesota, week 10, Buffalo, week 11, the New York Jets, and then week 12, Detroit Lions. So starting off with week 9. Now, mind you, week 9. We're going against Minnesota. Now, this isn't going to be your Kirk Cousins, Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy is now under center. So, in addition to that, Justin Jefferson just got paid a crazy amount of money. He's making slightly less than Daniel Jones. This is probably still a better quarterback than he is anyway, but that's neither here nor there. And so now we're going to be looking at a team, mind you, Daniil Hunter, their best defensive player, ended up going to Houston. So, I mean, this could be a new look Vikings team. Now, given the fact that they are going to either be going with Harish's second favorite quarterback ever, Sam Darnold, or J.J. McCarthy, it really depends. But I mean, so, and like I said, I keep on giving Harish hell. But you know what, Harish, I'm going to go ahead and get started with you. How are you feeling about this matchup versus Minnesota? Primarily the matchup versus Justin Jefferson, and what do you think the who do you think is going to be the unit that really has to step up in this game, particularly?
Yeah, I'm not feeling good about the matchup with Justin Jefferson at all. I think because well, yeah, and I think it's the safeties that really concern me because Justin Jefferson has the ability to take the top off of defense, right?
Yeah.
That being said, so does Jordan Addison. Now he doesn't do it often, right? He doesn't do it as much as people talk about Justin Jefferson. Jordan
Mhm.
Addison is a hell of a football player too.
Yeah.
He was only a rookie last year, if I believe.
Yeah, he was a rookie last year. Yeah.
So that guy is going to get better this offseason. And he was a
Mhm.
stud in college. A lot of people know him for his time at USC with Caleb Williams, but he was a stud for Pitt before that.
Yeah.
Austin knows just Jordan Addison very well when he toasted Tennessee a couple of years ago. Jordan Addison is very good. So it's not just Justin Jefferson I'd worry about. It's also Jordan Addison, and I think it's the intermediate stuff that concerns me. And then being able to take the top off the defense, even with JJ McCarthy. I actually think JJ McCarthy is going to end up being okay. He just wasn't used enough at Michigan. So a lot of people didn't get to showcase his talents because they could run the ball 40 times and he didn't have to do anything. So, but he did make some key plays in that championship game that a lot of people don't talk about. Similar to what CJ Stroud was, right? They're like, oh well, his wide receivers were really good. Oh, okay. Well, look at his accuracy and some of the throws he made in that game against Ohio State. JJ McCarthy has that same aura, I guess you could say. He made some very key plays in that game against Alabama that actually helped them win that game. So I don't think JJ McCarthy is as bad as people like to admit.
Yeah.
But he's a rookie.
Okay. And then, Josh, what about you? Because, like I said, and I think you spoke about the offensive side, Harish. Josh, when it comes to Minnesota's defense, what do you believe is going to, I'm going to say, if at all, be something that you have kind of to look forward to in their defense?
I mean, first and foremost, like you said, you did mention they lost their guy, a long-time pass rusher in the Hill Hunter, but they replaced him with Dallas Turner, who's a stud as well. I know he'll be a rookie coming in, but make no mistake about it, he's going to try to get to that quarterback, get to Anthony Richardson. So we're going to have our hands tied on the defensive side.
Yeah,
but I'm not too worried about that. I mean, because they lost a lot. The team pretty much went into almost like a slight rebuild, starting with the quarterback. I think is Aaron Jones their running back? I think so.
Is
it? I think he left the Packers and went there.
Damn, that's messed up.
Yeah, I think
I know Aaron Jones left the Packers. I thought he went somewhere else.
Yeah. Don't quote me on
right?
that.
He is in
Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh. So yeah. Man. So I mean, they have a decent running back to go with their young quarterback as he did with Jordan Love. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting on the offensive side, but like defensive side, I'm not too worried. I mean, we put up 30 a couple years ago with Matt Ryan, so I mean, I'm not so worried, and that's with Hunter on the team. So I'm not too worried about that defense. I think we can. I think we'll be able to move the ball on the ground and in the passing game with AD Mitchell, Alec Pierce, MPJ, Josh Downs, and our tight end core. I think we'll be able to make some. I think we'll be able to move the ball pretty quick down the field as often as you can. I guess I'm not as worried. I think, like I said, I don't know what the other pass rusher is on the other side of Dallas Turner, but whoever it is, I don't think I'm too worried about. I think we can game plan. Our game plan is going to be to stop Dallas Turner. So I'm not so concerned about that defense.
Okay. All right. And then Austin, what do you think are going to be? And I know we spoke about Minnesota, but it's just like, what are going to be the X factors for us in this game? Because, like I said, it's just like Aaron Jones. I didn't know where he went, but him going to Minnesota kind of changes things because of the fact that he can run and he can catch passes out the backfield. But I mean, what is going to be the X factor? And I'm going to say, what's going to be the X factor for us going into this game?
I mean, obviously, you got to stop the guy that they just paid. If we can not even stop him, but like not let him have a huge game against us, I'm not too worried about Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like they do have weapons, but like like Josh said, they kind of went into a mini rebuild with their rookie quarterback. So if we can just stop him from having a huge game, I think that's our key factor.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then, in that case, Harish, is this a win or a loss?
Oh, it's definitely a win. I think JJ McCarthy is going to be really good, but he's still a rookie. I think our deep by that point of the season, right? I think this is where Latu is going to be a huge impact for us. And this is kind of like when we were talking, where we said, this guy is going to make an impact. I think Latu is going to raise hell in that game.
Okay.
I think we win pretty comfortably, like 21-10.
Okay. Okay. So there's W. Josh, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think with Latu and Quiddy Pay, they both going to feast on that offensive line. I know they got good offensive line, offense weapons, and on the line, O-line as well. Yeah, I wouldn't say comfortably. It's always these type of games where we can win by a field goal, and I'm just not worried about. I'm worried about that, but I'm confident we can put a win out.
Okay. Okay. And then Austin, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think this will be a win, like 24-13.
Okay. Okay. And I have this as a win because I really do believe that this team is much better and will be able to make sure that they're doing everything in their power to make sure that they're slowing down, Justin Jefferson, but also making sure that they're getting to the quarterback. I think pass rush is going to be the name of the game for us very, very early on. So moving on. Now, this is an interesting one.
Yes.
Buffalo. So mind you, this isn't the Buffalo team that we've become used to over the last few years. Key departures have been Tre'Davious White, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. They lost Poyer. I mean, they've had many departures that were part of those playoff winning teams. And I mean, they did draft Keon Coleman, so that of course counts for something. And I'm gonna kick this one off with you, Josh. How are you feeling about this particular matchup, knowing what we know about this team right now?
Like you said, I mean, the last time we faced them, we beat them up pretty bad, and that's with the guys that you mentioned. And it wasn't even close. But now you have a team that's starting over with a rookie receiver. They did get better in the run game. Added some more running backs. I think it's James Cook, and I think somebody else added. You got James Cook and running back. Josh Allen going to be Josh Allen. But the defensive side, I mean, they got the guys that they have on defense, including with Von Miller. But I'm not worried anymore. I was worried a couple years ago, but we put up I think 40 points on them. I think put up 40.
Yeah, and that was
40.
I think it was mostly on the ground too. Well, actually, it was all on the ground because JT himself had 5 touchdowns. So
yeah, so I'm definitely not worried. And that's like I said, with them having Von Miller, who's pretty much past his prime, I'm not so worried. I'm not going to minimize their defense, but I'm not as worried as I was a couple years ago. So give us the edge again, and plus we're home.
okay. All right, and then Austin, what about you? Because like I said, this is a matchup that I think Buffalo is going to get like the benefit of the doubt the way they give them every single year. But I mean, it's just like, do we really feel like with the way that team is kind of shaped out that this is going to be that competitive team that we've come to know over the last few years?
On paper, it definitely feels like they got worse. But it's hard to just count them out. I don't think they'll be as good as they have been. But I do think this will be a good game.
Okay. And then Harish, because you know what, it's is there any reason to have any type of worry in regards to this game in particular?
I was trying to look defensively to see if there's anything on this team that would be bothersome. I mean, minus Greg Rousseau, AJ Epineza.
Hmm.
I mean, if Von Miller's like 98 years old, I don't really know if there is like defensively a concern. I think this is going to be one of those late in the year type games where it honestly favors us
Yeah.
because it's going to be cold, right?
Yep.
And usually when it's cold, you run the ball, and I think we could run the ball very effectively.
Well, remember,
Um,
we're going to be home.
oh, this is even better. So I don't think I don't know at that time of the year how Buffalo is going to run. Kind of like Austin mentioned, on paper they look worse, but then I mean I kind of like Keon Coleman, and I think he's going to do well in that offense. Is he the dynamic receiver that Stephon Diggs is? No, I don't think so, but we don't really know. And then Josh Allen's dual threat ability always concerns me because that guy can easily by himself run for 100 yards um, and throw for 304 touchdowns. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup. That this offense with Josh Allen essentially in his prime and that team doing essentially a mini rebuild is going to be very interesting.
Yeah. And I just to kind of wrap this one up, I don't see Buffalo being the way that they like. So to me, this year, if you have these teams in this division, because mind you, I think Buffalo kind of snuck in last year, being that they kind of had Miami down the stretch, and of course, division games can go either way. But I think now with the Jets back in the mix, if Aaron Rodgers actually stays healthy this year, then I can see it being either the Jets or Dolphins division because as good as Josh Allen is, having that much turnover, it doesn't help. And the thing is, I could see if, let's just say, they just got rid of Stephon Diggs, but still had Gabe Davis, somebody in there. But the thing is, it's just like you lost both of them. And after those two, you really can't tell me who was after them. And I think they have a very, very unknown wide receiver room. I think it's Keon Coleman, and they grabbed who? I think Curtis Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, having Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel, it's just like, do they have capability? Sure, but I just don't see it being able to equate. Like I think they'll have to figure it out, but I think this won't be one of those games where they're able to figure it out. So I mean, for me personally, I'm gonna chalk this up as a win. All
I
right.
agree. I agree.
All right. What about you, Harish? Is that a win or a loss?
Man, this is so hard.
It's very unpredictable.
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead.
man. Yeah, I think this is a win. I think this is one we kind of squeak by. This is going to be one of those games where we see how much this team has grown over the year.
Yeah.
This could be a really gritty, grinded out type of game. I think this is where we kind of see what this team is made out of, if as far as the long term push for a playoff berth.
Okay. All right. And then what about you, Austin?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I think this is going to be a really good game. But this is one I feel like for some reason we're going to lose. It's going to be super close, but we're just going to end up losing it.
Okay. All right. Well, so you have us as a loss. So you okay, Austin? I see you out here being the black sheep.
Man, Bills is unpredictable, man. I mean,
Yeah, it's hard to tell right now.
they can go 4-0 or 5-0 the beginning of the season, and then lose 5 in a row, or they can be 0-5 and then win 5 in a row. It just, you never know with that team. They are coached well, just the players that always fail at the wrong time.
Oh, okay. No, well, yeah. So I get that. Now on to another AFC East matchup. This time we're going to be at the New York Jets. So mind you, I don't know how the elements are going to be this time in November, but I can tell you one thing that absolutely scares the hell out of me. We are going to be playing at MetLife Stadium and that turf is diabolical.
Yeah.
I hate it. And so, truth be told, I will say the last time that I went to MetLife Stadium, nobody got hurt. I was able to watch the game. Nobody got hurt. That ended up being a win. Luck threw for God knows how many yards. It was amazing. It was in the rain. It was fantastic. I was awesome. But still, it was MetLife Stadium. You were scared shitless. So, Austin, Aaron Rodgers and crew. How do you feel about this game in particular, knowing that, we may potentially go up against A-Rod with, I'm going to say a semi, I'm going to say a pretty decent team. I'm going to say a good team at that.
Yeah, the Jets have put together a good team on paper. We haven't really got to see a lot with Aaron Rodgers since he got hurt so early last year.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have a good team, like you said, on paper. But this is one I feel like our pass rush is going to get to Aaron Rodgers. Obviously not shake him. He's a veteran. He's great. But I feel like we're going to get to him. And that's what I feel like will help us in this game is our pass rush.
Okay. And then Harish, now, so on the opposite side, because then we have our offense who's going to have to go up against, I'm going to say, a very underrated to a certain extent Jets defense. I'm going to say it's just like they do pretty much have a guy on every level. I mean, you have Quinnen Williams on the D line. You also have Sauce Gardner at the cornerback position. But with our offense set up the way that it is, how do you feel about the chances to be able to match up with their defense or potentially go ahead and just, like, I'm going to say, overcome that defense?
Not very good. I think this is the game this offense struggles in mightily. I'm not very excited about playing this game. And the fact that it's at MetLife, not only do they have, Quinnen Williams on the defensive line, they also have Solomon Thomas. They also have Hassan Reddick. They also have.
Oh, yeah, they did get Reddick. They did get Reddick, yes.
I know Javon Kinlaw's not very looked at highly amongst the NFL crowd because we stole their best defensive tackle. But I think in this defense where he's not the main guy, Javon Kinlaw's the guy that's going to be really good. A very solid linebacking core. I don't think they have like a true difference making. Well, CJ Mosley is going to be very good. And then of course we know
he's old though,
right? Yeah, but I mean, it's a guy that can help build something, keep some stability at that position. He's only been in the league. What is he? CJ Mosley, 10 years? I mean, that's not a long time.
It feels like it.
Yeah, that's not terribly long. But yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be the best defense we play all year, honestly.
Yeah.
And this is probably one of the best defenses in the league.
Okay. And then Josh, looking at the way that this team is going, let's just say if it's a relatively clean game where we don't have to worry about any type of injuries, just playing it straight through, who ends up being the X factor in this game for this team?
For the Jets, I mean, it has to be the quarterback. We haven't seen him. He missed a whole year last year. So him coming back at, I think he's about 41, 42, 44, something like that. He definitely passed 40. That's going to be him. I mean, he's coming back playing that same turf that got him injured and missed a whole year. So he's looking to make comeback player of the year possibly. And he got weapons. I mean, he got Mike Williams from the Chargers. He got Garrett Wilson. So I mean, he got some talent on the offensive side. He got Bryce Hall at Breece Hall at running back. I mean,
yeah.
He got the guy. They pretty much went and got some guys on offense for him to succeed in. So it's up to him to be that X factor too. Have some success with the Jets. So he's going to be the X factor on that team.
Yeah,
that's when they got him and paid him.
So I have to be completely honest with this game. I feel like this is a toss-up, and the only reason why is just because there's a chance that this team, especially this time of year, Like we're talking about week 11, so I think we're talking about like somewhere in November. Now, mind you, by then we still haven't gotten to the bye week. So I know it's just like we will have dealt with the gauntlet. We will have dealt with playing division opponents. I'm gonna say playing I think four or five of our division games already, which are always battles. And so we're going to have to deal with going back and forth in these elements, playing on that field and trying to be cautious. If I could be honest, I think this might end up being a loss. And the only reason why is just because I think it's just like it's going to be a war of attrition, and it's going to be very tough for us to kind of keep pace or keep doing what we're doing, especially when we're going into week 11 and we still have 2 more weeks after that until we actually go ahead and get a week off. All right, and then so Austin, what about you? What are you saying as far as that one or this particular game? Is that a win or a loss?
Yeah, so kind of like the Bills game, I feel like this is going to be another really close game. But I have us winning this one.
Okay. Okay, so you got us winning this one. See, I could always count on you to be the wild card. All right, and then Harish, what about you?
Yeah, I think this is a loss. I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be a very difficult loss to take because this could. I'm not feeling very confident about this game at all, to be honest.
Gotcha. Okay. Then what about you, Josh?
Yeah, I don't feel confident either, man. We in the wrong element, wrong team, wrong time of the year. We're not ready for this type of game. So I think we'll lose this game.
Yeah. And hey, what's up to Adam J? There's one of the viewers also from Sick Podcast Anvil Show. Welcome, glad you're watching. I got your other comment, but I'm gonna mention that one later because that's part of what we're talking about. So, all right, and then week 12. This is going to be at home versus Detroit.
What's your prediction?
I'm going to kick this off because I have the same thing to say about Detroit that I've always said, and that is their offense is insane. Their defense is not. They have Aiden Hutchinson, and I get that, but I don't. To me, it's just like the defense doesn't scare me. Like I could see this honestly just being more of a shootout than it is just like being like Detroit just comes in and they just come in and dominate. Like it's going to be really tough to play against this team. I think it's going to be tough to stop this team. And I think the offensively, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to do a lot of great things for them. But yeah, this game only terrifies me because the thing is, if our defense can't stop their offense and their defense can't stop our offense, this game could be looking to be like 55-52. That's how ridiculous that could possibly be. But I'm going to go ahead and just pass this over to you, Harish. What do you think about this game in particular?
I'm not very confident about this game either. Unlike you think their defense is vulnerable. I think their defense is gonna. I know their defense gave up a lot of points in that game last year, and there's a reason why. They lost that game, but they added a very good corner in the draft in Terrion Arnold. I think Josh knows how good this guy is. This guy is, and by this point of the year, this guy is gonna be. I think he's gonna be one of the better younger corners in the league.
Yep.
They had Stephon Diggs, our Stephen Gilmore, which we know the type of impact he can be on a young defensive secondary.
Gilmore signed with the Lions?
Yeah, he signed with the Lions.
When this was?
What the hell is this? Oh,
this is Stephen Gilmore, not Stephon Gilmore. My bad.
I was like, what?
I was about to say, it's just like, wait, when did this happen?
Yeah, this is Earth 2's version of Stephon Gilmore.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Bizarro Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, Bizarro Stephon Gilmore. But either way, I mean, I like this team. It's a very young team. And I think they're going to be one of the better teams in the league again, and they're going to be one of those teams that will push to make a Super Bowl run. Jack Campbell was excellent for them. He was a rookie last year. He's coming back. I really like, they did pick up DJ Reader. That's a real guy. That's a guy that lives on this earth. I think he's a good pickup for them. Yeah, I'm buying into the kneecaps. So I really I think kneecaps are broken by watching this team because I doubted them so much, and they're I think they're doing a really good job, and I think Dan Campbell's been excellent, which hurts for me to say because I hate the Aggies, but that's I think they're a very good team.
Okay, all right. Then what about you, Josh? Because like I said, to me it's a toss up. But I mean, how do you view that?
I don't see a toss up. Like I said, with the weapons they got, starting with their quarterback who they just paid recently, having Gibbs, having Williamson, having this is St. Brown.
Yeah, I'm a Ross St. Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot which one it is because I know that it's a brother. So that's a deadly trio. And it just I don't think our defense again like the Jets game. I don't think our defense would be able to stop that offense. Dan Campbell is a damn great coach. I don't say good coach, damn great coach. This is where his bread is one. His money is made at. He make the right calls. He's gutsy. He make if it's a 4th and 2, he'll go for it. Type of guy. He don't give a shit. We've seen that against Dallas. I think it was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think in the playoffs and they lost. And I wasn't mad about that. But I can see this happening type of game where if they are down, he's going for it to win it. He lived by that. I don't think our team's ready for it. Now I do support and I do feel like our head coach Shane Steichen is that guy. I just think this Dan is just a much better coach.
Yeah. Okay, and then Austin, what about you? Because like I said, it's I'm gonna say who specifically is gonna be the X factor for us in this game.
Yeah, so first I want to say I'm with you. I feel like this is going to be a shootout. I do think their defense got better, but I don't think they're a great defense. But the X factor in this game, obviously I feel like it needs to be on the defensive side, maybe like a Juju Brents or Kenny Moore, somebody on the cornerback. Just one of them needs to have a great game. Because they do have a lot of weapons, like you already mentioned.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what I think. I think this game will be a shootout.
Okay. All right. So me personally, I feel like this is going to, like I said, just be another game that ends up being a shootout. This one's tough to call because I feel like this could be an either way type of game. And I'm not going to go and do a tie because that's not fair. I'm not going to do a tie. I promise. So we are actually and let me see how I have this schedule. So right now I have us at up to this point I have us at 8-3. So after this game, we will be 8-4.
So a loss.
Yes.
Gotcha.
All right.
He wasn't a homer this time.
All right. I haven't been a homer.
He had to fight his homer urges.
I did have to fight my homer urges on that one though. I did. Speaking of, okay. So now Harish, what about you?
Loss.
Lost? Okay.
Yeah, that was a loss.
All right. Josh?
L.
All right. And then Austin.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a loss.
Watch this be the one game now we win.
Listen, we end up winning this game. And mind you, I'm saving this like I did last season. This will be a crazy win. So let's just get that out of the way now. That would be fantastic. But yes, so okay. So that means that to this stretch, ending week 12, Josh has us at 6-6. Fair. Harish also has us at he actually has us at 7-5. Okay. And then both Austin and I both have us at 8-4. So we don't have anything like crazy, like super duper.
Who's 7-5?
7-5 is Harish.
Okay.
You have us at 500.
Okay.
All right. And so yes, and like I said, it's not really crazy. I think we all have very realistic expectations of this team, especially with the fact that we know exactly how this schedule is going to be. Because like I said, after week 13, we have the bye, and then we have 4 games left. But we'll be covering that next week. So in the meantime, I said when we started, we had a special announcement. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, and I'm going to explain the comment because Adam made one. So, first off, shout out to the Sick Podcast Anvil Show because we were on the last 2 weeks with them. Make sure that you go ahead and you check them out. I believe they're on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central, I believe, or 7:15, 7:30. Either way, make sure you put your notifications on, all that good stuff. But we will be having our first annual HorseShoe Mob versus Sick Podcast annual Anvil Show Fantasy Football League competition. So it will be myself, Austin, Harish, Josh versus Pat, Acosta, and whatever other Anvil guys they want to go ahead and put up there for the slaughter, because you know what, we don't go in there planning to lose. Okay, listen, we're coming to you live right now to let you know. Best part about it is that this is going to be for a prize at the end. So we're gonna make sure, like I said, we're ironing out the details, but like I said, we're gonna make it really, really good. Now the loser will have to go ahead and just do a punishment where we're just gonna have to say some nice things that are going to be written by the winning team, and we'll be the ones writing for the Sick Podcast Anvil guys to go and say live on their podcast. So this way, you guys know exactly what it is. So what I want you to do is make sure that you are tuning in live for updates every single week, starting from week 1 of the season. We will be going and actually giving an update at the end of each week, so that this way you guys are in the know all the way up through playoffs, all the way up through the fantasy football Super Bowl, which will probably be, me versus, maybe like Austin, Josh, or Harish, because you know what? We're going to go in there and we're going to win, okay? We're going to get the ball and we're going to score, in the words of the great Matt Hasselbeck. All right. And this time we are actually going to score. We're not going to do what he did and then just throw a pick 6 to end the game, because that was just absurd. So yes, but in the meantime, make sure that you are also tuning in over there, Sick Podcast Anvil Show. Make sure that you're following them on YouTube. And yeah, just make sure that you're coming over, which is why when Adam said, y'all ready for the fantasy football battle? He said, nah, y'all not ready. And you know what? I'll say this, because you know what? It's all love. They are brothers. But Pat was talking a little spicy about Harish. So and you know what? I'm not gonna let that go unchecked. Okay. So Harish, you listen. You already know what to do.
Listen, we Pat, shout out to Pat. Pat's a good guy. But we know that stat watchers never prevail in the end. And that's a very, very epic stat watching kind of thing to do. So, Pat, I heard you loud and clear. I'm glad you like to look at numbers and make them true to your word. But yeah, don't worry about that record. That's not something I'd pay a lot of attention to.
Word. And then also,
especially when you're losing, when they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
So
yeah, especially when here's a stat I want you to watch for, and that's a lot more losses than us. So just get ready.
All right. And then also, just to let you know, Adam said Pat, Clyde, Lewis, and myself.
Easy money.
Hey, listen, if that's your team, bring them. All right.
Easy money.
we need to add something to this bet. We need to have them post Chris Ballard, we like our guys clip.
I'd be completely fine with that.
Well, that's not any fun, because I like to post that clip on the regular. That's not really torture for me. That's not really torture.
But in the meantime, we are going to get out of here. Thank you for hanging with us. We'll be back next week where we will be on part 4 and the last part of this playoff race, or not the playoff race, but this regular season race that we're going to be doing to make sure that we are getting to the end of the season. And in the meantime, make sure that once again you are liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. What's up, Blue Nation? How's it going, man? Make sure you are liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Follow us Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube. Make sure that you run those YouTube numbers up, okay? We're trying to make sure we run those up. We get those numbers up enough, we're probably going to be looking to do some type of contest. Might be going ahead, looking to be generous, giving out a jersey, okay? We might be like the four of us might combine and be like multiracial Santa Claus or something, or whatever you believe in that gives gifts or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's what we're gonna be.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. It's just like with our powers combined, we are multicultural. So yes,
Correct.
all right, there we go. So yes, so in the meantime, guys, tell the people where they can find you on social media and everywhere. Austin, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2.
All right. Harish, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the Uncle Gandhi, and then we're getting closer and closer and closer. So if you guys are very, very interested, which you should be, because if you're not, then you're not a true football fan, for the EA Sports College Football release. If you're a Longhorn fan, we do the Texas Longhorn Fan Battle podcast every Thursday night. This week, for the first time, we will have former quarterback Chance Mock on the show, which we're very, very excited about. We'll be talking EA Sports College Football, and we're also working on doing a giveaway for the game. So
Nice.
if you guys are EA Sports College Football fans, you don't have to like Texas. We talk about everybody, although we majority talk about Texas. Follow that show as well. That's Thursday nights. This week will be 7 p.m.
All right. Josh, what about yourself?
Yeah, I must add to Harish. Please tune in to the Longhorns, because Mavericks about to get swept.
And also make sure you tune into the Lakers Fan Battle podcast. It doesn't exist, just like Dan Hurley's contract.
Ooh.
Well, right now a win on exists right now for the Mavericks.
Yeah, that's a very true fact. But hey, guess what, Josh? We have a coach. So
I got you. Hey. That's a touchy
the coach
subject.
that you desperately want.
It's a touchy subject. We're gonna get it exposed, so
Okay, and you can find me on Twitter
Chill.
at TJ Colts fan, because apparently this got a lot more spicy than I thought it would. Adam says Tuesdays and Thursdays definitely help pass the idle time by. Thanks for the content, y'all. Appreciate you, Adam. Once again, make sure you're tuning in to Sick Podcast Anvil Show Thursdays, 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Central. But yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to let Josh and Harish continue to battle while me and Austin are very much so entertained. Other than that, guys, have a great day.
I just want to throw out there real quick, Adam. I know we're talking about the Lakers, but the Lakers have a letter that you guys are going to get very used to this year, and that's L. That's all I have to say.
I like that.
Ooh. Hey, listen, you better drop all Harish.
That's one thing I can do is talk trash. So good at it.
I like it.
I like it a lot. But yes, so have a great one, everybody. And just remember, as always, Sam loves Jalen Ramsey. We'll see you guys later.